Lene is no longer with us, but I want to believe he has gone to join the cloud of witnesses, and they keep watching us, and also have your own father, my own father. You see, on this page, it was posted, I guess, yesterday. Let me say a few things about Igbonla, about the CNS Church of Zion, about Abegbola and other places. Igbonla belongs to all our fathers, including your father and my father, because they built it together. I understand that Baba Lene was the visionary, and he was the founding father. Are you aware that I've seen people also coming up controversially whether Igbonla belongs to Baba Lene? And I started asking questions. Baba Lene has the legal paper that Igbonla belongs to him and his church members. And you know the kind of Igbonla Baba Lene built. He didn't build something. He didn't build a church system to enrich himself and his children. If not, probably, instead of pushing Baba Jemine forward to be a spiritual head when he left, he could have picked one of his sons. Baba Lene has sons that are leaders of churches. He never go to their side. He didn't want to build a worship center where you enrich yourself and just your siblings. It's a community that belongs to the people. That was a kind of system Baba Lene built before he died. And we wish to uphold it that way. That Igbonla, the Zion Church, belongs to you, your children, your father, my father, me, and my children. All of us. So we must not allow it to die in our time. Our fathers have done their part, they have gone. They built it. And when they left, must we allow it to die? This is one of the reasons some of us are shouting to the hearing of the public and are correcting information. There are a lot of fake news that have spread all over the place. I don't even care. The most important thing is the people of the Zion Church worldwide should feel safe to worship. The people of Igbonla should feel safe to worship and live in their community. The people of Ajigbade should feel safe to worship and live safely in their community. There should be no encroachment of whatsoever that will destabilize the people. A major sign for you to know that something is wrong with this idea of bringing ballet to a Christian community is the way they are destroying things. You have been appointed a ballet, but it was not Mr. Demain, please. It was not Baba Lene that appointed Zacchaeus as ballet. I don't know, probably he was a leader during the era of Baba Lene. I can't see. Okay. But Baba Lene was never involved with leadership, with traditional leadership thing. All he did was to make sure things were in their right places, even in the traditional atmosphere of the Elijah land. He never involved himself. He was a spiritual leader, and he decided to face it squarely, not wanting to be distracted. So this fight, this awareness is not all about nobody's competing with traditional leadership. What we are saying is that Igbonla and Ajigbade is a Christian community. Let it remain so. The present Olugbo of Igbo land is not the first Oba in our land. If in his time he decides to close down the churches, I don't think God will allow that. And I don't think people like me and other people will allow it. It's not done anywhere. We want it to get to a point where even in these Christian communities, we do acknowledge the Oba. Of course, how can the Christian leaders and the community leader, that is the traditional leaders, will be conflicting over what? Over what? It doesn't make sense. When outsiders hear this, they wonder what is wrong with us in Elijah land. and for ba and fi ọba ṣe wá pé ọba ya fẹ́ sọ jọba ni jọba nola but jọba ja develop so ti rí anji ọba tí ó jẹ nígbà rẹ̀ jí ìlú dà ìgboro títí láíláí we lè gbàgbé ran ìwé ṣe baba Lene rin ọmọ baba Lene ran sin a lè fi ọwọ́ gbà àyájá sọ̀rọ̀ torí ba nga ṣe bàjẹ́ jí kú ìwọ yóò yẹ pé bàrẹ̀ ní kíní jí wo tó jó yẹ jẹ́ attach ara ẹ má reasonable thing jẹ́ correct some errors happen in your past generation or in your gone generation otomi join in hands and be destroying what is for the people. It can't work. It can't work. Fine, we are not rich people, but rich people are taking us to court to do all those things. But we have God and we have integrity. Baba Lene was a man of integrity, honored by the presidency, by the government, by, all over. So now for a new king who they say not the only king that did not know Joseph was a pharaoh. And you know who a pharaoh was. That the only king that did not know Joseph was a pharaoh. So if we are having kings who do not want us to remember people who helped build our community, then something is wrong.
That you're gonna hear this and see